Welcome to our weekly Mitzvah Shabbos program, the inside story of Chabad in America. I mentioned a few weeks ago about Rabbi Mindel. He worked with the Rebbe over 50 years, taking dictation, thousands of letters, Hebrew letters, English letters, Russian letters, Yiddish letters, and many times in the middle being by the Rebbe, over 50 years, the Rebbe discussed with him certain things. He told him certain stories and certain questions that people asked. He spoke to the Rebbe. So Rabbi Mindel wrote down certain points, certain shittas of the Rebbe, topics. So today I want to share with you a topic, many, about Shalom Bayis, many topics. But one Indian I want to bring down, that the Rebbe, that he wrote down, that the Rebbe wrote or the Rebbe discussed with him. Before I tell you, I just want to say, the Rambam says that the husband should respect his wife, give her kavod more than himself. As they say, he is the head, she is the neck. Wherever the neck turns, that's where the head goes. You should have respect for the wife. But that's something that I mentioned about something which I'm not going to say today. Once I heard the Gerer Rebbe, the Beis Yisrael, when somebody told the Gerer Rebbe, so about Shalom Bayis. So he says that I fold my talis, Mitzvah Shabbos, he says, Gula for Shalom Bayis. He tells the Gerer Rebbe. So the Gerer Rebbe says, okay, but you should know that helping wash the dishes of Shabbos, helping your wife, is as Gula for Shalom Bayis. He told him, help your wife to wash the dishes. That'll be, so he felt that'll be a better Gula. But anyways, that's some of it. Now, this letter here, the person asked the Rebbe whether he should try to keep his family together. He just got married. And people get married, children get married, but they're children. And sometimes after the marriage, they feel, I made a mistake, or it's not for me. And they want to break it off, chas v'sholom. People ask the Rebbe. So this is one answer. So the Rebbe answers like this: try to keep the family together, Shalom Bayis, trying to build a new life, befeirish not. And the Rebbe makes the word definite to be married. And the Rebbe wrote a big yes, Y-E-S, the Rebbe's handwriting. This is the Rebbe Shita. Not only that, chas v'sholom to divorce. Rabbi Mindel writes here that the Rebbe, in general, it's the Rebbe's opinion that it's utmost importance to preserve Shalom Bayis at home at all costs and to avoid divorce and even separation as much as possible. Some people don't divorce, but they think, we're going to separate a few months. That's not good. The Rebbe did not agree with that, with separation. There's other ways to do it, as we're going to say soon, but not separation. People separate, it's not good for the children when they separate, and it's not good bichlal, and I'll tell you soon what the Rebbe said. And Rabbi Mindel writes, being by the Rebbe, he wrote notes to himself, that he heard from the Rebbe many times when it comes to Shalom Bayis. He answers, make sure the mezuzah of the home should be on a slant. They should be on a slant. Because that shows that this home, the husband and wife, compromise. It's interesting. Mezuzah is mezuzah. Me means from, mezu. Zu is Lashon Nekeva, Zeh is Loshen Zocher. From her to him. He is the Mashpia and she is the Makabel. This is how husband and wife should always live. And then they'll have Shalom Bayis. And they should realize that everyone has their responsibility in this world. As a husband and wife, they were going to be Matzliach. Besides what it says in the Chachomim say, this all from the Rebbe, that peace is the greatest thing, and the Shechina, Ish v'Isha, Shechina Shruya b'neihem. It's important to keep family together. And when you divorce, you're cutting off the Shechina. And by the way, as a Maimer Musgar, in the whole Torah, it doesn't say the word get, divorce. There's no such a word. It says Sefer Christus, but it doesn't say the word get. Because there's no word in the Torah, Gimel Tes, together. There is Beis and Dalet and Hey and Zayin, but Gimel Tes, there is no such a thing. That means that's cut off. And the Shechina, there's Ish ve'Isha, Shechina, sure, the Shechina is there. And when a person divorces, they're cutting off the Shechina, and that's the worst thing. That's what he writes. Points from the Rebbe. Also, the Rebbe says many times, any Shalom Bayis problem, discuss with friends, Rabbanim, or psychiatrists, but not divorce and not separate. I mean, there are people, I'm not saying everybody, maybe some people the Rebbe did say, but the Rebbe did not agree with separation, because that's not good for the family. Chas v'sholem destroyed the entire current situation, and to start searching for a new life for her and for her children, with the constant confusion of mind, which will come from the doubts, did I do right thing, perhaps, and maybe I lost by chance, and they always sometimes regret, but they should never try not to divorce. And if you do have to divorce, I guess, then it's probably the last thing. Then the Rebbe says, he adds over here, don't make changes, and one change might lead to another change. Even separation will also be a change, because all this in general changes, even separation, but not divorce. Then the Rebbe says that also, I think that's what Rabbi Mindel meant. It's from the Rebbe that if they separate or they divorce, and the son wants to become a chassan, it will be difficult to make a shidduch. And so this is the Rebbe's advice, bichlal, that always speak over with friends, but the last thing is that. Now, on the same page, the person asked the Rebbe that they have difficulty deciding where to live. So what should they do? The husband says, I want to live here, and the wife says, I want to live here, or they want to stay. They came back to and they get into machlokes, and that's very important. So bichlal, there is a letter from the Rebbe that I saw. Bichlal, you should listen when it comes to moving. You should listen to the wife. So, anyways, here the Rebbe brings down Pirkei Avos, and the Rebbe says, "Look in Pirkei Avos." So this is from Pirkei Avos. Rabbi Mindel wrote this down. Omer Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma. Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma said, Pam achas hoyisi mehalich baderech. I was once walking in the street. Nivga b'yodam, a person met me. V'nosali gave me shalom, and I returned shalom. He says to me, Rabbi, where do you come from? I told him, from a big city of Chachomim and from scholars. So he says to me, that come with me, live with us. If you live with us, I will give you thousands of gold and silver and precious stones. So I told him, if you give me all the precious stones of the world, all avonim tovis umargolius, any door I will not live, ela b'mkom Torah. A person should always live in a place of Torah. Raise your children in a place of yeshivas, of mikvahs, of from Yidden Torah. As the Rambam says, that a person should always live in a from sviva. The question is, Rabbi Del wrote that people ask the Rebbe, what about shluchim? We find shluchim live who knows where, and the Rebbe sends them there. So the answer is, if the Rebbe sends a person to a city, the Rebbe gives koiches. And as once Rabbi Pinson, Olav Shalom from Tunisia, he once said to the Rebbe, the Rebbe sent him to live somewhere where there's no yeshivas and no mikvahs. How will I raise my children? The Rebbe says, it's a hard work. Even if the Rebbe gives a bracha, you shouldn't rely on the bracha only. The Rebbe can only give a bracha if the parents help out. If the parents raise, so the parents have to work on it, but it's easier because the Rebbe gives a bracha. Like the Rebbe told somebody asked the Rebbe, I need a bracha for my son, he should sit and learn. Rebbe says, I can give a bracha if he learns. If there's a masbid, I can give a bracha, then he'll sit. But if he doesn't learn, the bracha won't help. So even if the Rebbe sends, and the Rebbe gives a bracha, but it doesn't mean that you should rely on the bracha only, but they have to put keches. The Rebbe answered this to somebody. The parents have to work on it. So here, the Rebbe says, when it comes to moving, in general, when it comes to moving a family, the feelings of the wife, the akeres habayis, should be reckoned with. Important, the akeres habayis, the wife. That's the Rebbe Shita. A further important consideration is that having been blessed with children, it is essential to live in a place that offers the best conditions for bringing them in accordance with the tradition blessing of Torah, Chuppah, Umasim Tovim, in the fullest measure. If nevertheless there are doubts, then it's advisable to consult with certain friends about the situation and discuss it with them. But in general, a person should live in a Mokem Torah. This is because many people ask the Rebbe, that there's probably Shalom Bayis because where to live. And Rabbi Mindel writes here that the Rebbe says many times that a lack of Shalom Bayis brings feeling of depression, and the Rebbe gives advice about how to get rid of depression. This is the topic that I want to mention in this program today. Mitzvah next week we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.